Hey Chael, Glenn Bell. Happy Khabib versus Tony Ferguson month. In 2016, this fight was called off on April 5th. 2 years later in 2018, this fight was called off on April 1st. 2 years later in 2020, it's April, and Chael, you just simply can't make this stuff up. But safety first, let's hope for the best. We also had Olympics this year in July, postponed until next year. Safety first, let's hope for the best. So, with the Olympics postponed and the UFC still working things out, we have the UFC Olympics. I have a bracket here. In this bracket, we have these fighters. We know their names. We know they're from different places. First up, George St-Pierre from Canada versus Khabib Nurmagomedov from Russia. Jon Jones from USA versus Francis Ngannou from Cameroon. Conor McGregor from Ireland versus Israel Adesanya represent New Zealand. Jung Whaley from China versus Amanda Nunez from Brazil. The first fight's a treat. It's a title fight at 155. GSP wants that belt in 3 different weight classes. Khabib is a little too much for him. He takes him down, he grounds and pounds. GSP is just not as fresh as Khabib is, but he's good enough with that. He starts adding in his high kick and his jab, his own takedowns. He finishes Khabib in the 5th round. And now we have Jon Jones versus Francis. Jon gets rocked like we've never seen him get rocked before. He gets knocked down, but he shows a tough chin. He gets back up, starts using more of his wrestling. He finishes Francis in the 4th round. Now we have Conor McGregor versus the style bender. It seems that McGregor's left is not as impactful when it's punching slightly upward on a tall opponent like Izzy as when it's punching downward on a smaller opponent. Izzy's able to take the left, avoid the left, uses his style, finishes Conor McGregor in the 3rd round. And now we have Jung Whaley versus Amanda Nunez. Another treat, a title fight at 135. Whaley went up 2 weight classes to meet Amanda at 135 because she wants to be a champ. Amanda's too strong for her. She ragdolls her right and left, but Whaley hangs in there. She's learned a lot from that 25-minute war with Joanna Jędrzejczyk, and by the 4th and 5th rounds, she's overwhelming Amanda, and she stops her in the 5th round, moves to the next round of fights. Now we have our next round of fights. GSP versus Jon Jones. GSP shows him some old school techniques he's not used to, but in the end, Jon's just a little too crafty, a little too rangy. Starts with the spinning techniques. He stops GSP in the 4th round and moves to the final round of fights. And now we have the style bender versus Whaley. In this fight, range is an issue, but it's an issue for Izzy. It seems he's not used to an opponent with this height difference. His punches are going over the top. Kicks are going over the top. Whaley's able to get in with the punches, the kicks, the combinations. She wins by decision, moves to the final round of fights. And now we have our final round. We have USA, Jon Jones versus China's Jung Whaley. But there's a rule. If the doctor determines that a fighter can't continue, they can call in a fresh opponent from that country. That's the case with Jon Jones. It seems that Francis and GSP, they just beat him up too much. He can't continue. First, they look for somebody from the USA. They can't find anybody. This thing might be over. Everybody's upset, but they find somebody. He comes down to the octagon. Everybody's excited. Can't believe their eyes. Everybody's standing up. They're applauding. It's none other than Chael Sonnen coming to represent his country. He gets in the ring, and now we have a fight. We have Chael Sonnen from USA versus Zhang Whaley from China. But there's a rule. If the fighter that's left in the octagon wants to fight the opponent that's fresh, they can. But they can call in a fresh opponent if they want to as well. First, Whaley thinks, Chael's been sitting in the chair. He's been answering questions. He might not be ready for me at this point. But she sees those guns. She thinks differently about it. She calls China's secret weapon. Everybody goes crazy. He comes from the back. Young people don't know who it is. Old people can't believe who it is. Everybody's standing up. People are standing on their seats. They can't believe it. He never died. He's been training this entire time. It's Bruce Lee, and he's back to fight. He gets in the octagon dressed in a wet paper bag. The first thing he does, he breaks out of the wet paper bag because he heard what Chael had to say about him and he wanted to prove he could do it. And now we have a fight. The 1st round, 2nd round, it seems that Bruce Lee's just too fast for Chael. He's as fast as he looked like he was in those movies, and there's nothing Chael can do. The 3rd round, the 4th round, much of the same thing. Bruce Lee's just too quick. He's too fast. And now we're in between the 4th and the 5th round. Chael sits on the bench. He's winded. He's broken. He's beaten. But he's not defeated. And Bruce Lee, he's in his corner, waiting for the 5th round, jumping up and down, working the nunchucks. And the 5th round begins. We have the 1st minute down. People from China are starting to do their 4th quarter style happy football dance, even though it's 4 minutes left to go. And the 2nd minute and the 3rd minute, seems like a foregone conclusion. There's nothing Chael can do. Bruce Lee's just too fast with the punches and the kicks and the chops and the nose wipes. Half of Chael's corner and half of Chael's fans are saying, throw in the towel. He's done. It's over. The other half of his corner, the other half of the fans are saying, never throw in the towel. The American gangster's never done. So the fight continues, and with a minute left, people are starting to pack up and go home now. There's nothing left to see here. We might as well beat the traffic. Bruce Lee's just too fast. But with 30 seconds left to go, Chael gets a double leg, gets him on the ground. Bruce Lee reverses and gets on top. Chael's working for position. Bruce Lee's trying to get back up. With 15 seconds left to go, Chael gets him in a triangle choke. It's the same triangle choke that Chael finished Anderson Silva with. And Bruce Lee's trying to get out, and Chael's squeezing. And Bruce Lee's trying to get out, and Chael's squeezing. And with 1 second left to go, Bruce Lee's out. He's unconscious. It's over. He's finished. The ref comes in, stops the fight. The bell rings. The fight is over. The American gangster has done it. Meanwhile, Alexander Gustafsson, the Korean Zombie, Valentina Shevchenko. They're upset. They're angry. They want that belt. They're coming back next time to defend their country, to get that belt. But for now, the crowd's yelling, USA, USA. Uncle Chael saves the day. So Chael, my question for you. If the UFC worked out this UFC Olympics with the right fighters, at the right weight class, and the right time span between fights, do you think that a UFC Olympics would be an exciting event for us fans?
Glenn, I gotta tell you, that was fantastic, but that was also extremely comprehensive and thorough. I don't know that you left me an angle to cover. Okay, here's the two options that I have as I see it. I can either take what you just said and let it live all by itself, just post it, peace with Glenn Bell. Or I have to go 20 minutes. I have to give a 20-minute response, of which I'm not sure you had any loose ends. If I don't do 20 minutes, then you outshine me in my own piece. So, Glenn, I'm going to say nothing other than, well done.